Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. We just saw the black and white sixes, or the reverse Oreo sixes, drop. There's not a lot of hype to these pairs, but I think they have a classic style. I love the six silhouette, and I want to get into them with y'all. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these black and white Jordan 6s. Alright, so typically I enjoy grabbing these pairs from my local Finish Line, using rewards, getting a little bit of money off and that sort of thing. I was actually going to be out of town on the day that these dropped, so I knew I wouldn't be able to get to my store and get them. I was looking at GOAT at upcoming releases, and I noticed that these were way below retail price. I think retail is around $200. These were listed on GOAT for in the 150s and 160s. I forget where exactly these shipped from, but they came from overseas. I guess they dropped in other countries before they dropped in the US. With fees and everything, I paid about 180 bucks for these, so it may have even been cheaper than if I got them from Finish Line and used some of my status rewards on them. I'm a huge fan of the six silhouette. I think as far as shoes that take me back to being a kid, when I see a Jordan 6, it just immediately makes me think of when Jordan was in his prime, when they were in the finals against the Lakers. I think of the Dream Team era. My favorite 6 of all time is the Carmine. I definitely think that these have a classic look. They definitely have a style that makes you feel like they could have existed back in the early 90s. We see that the box matches the shoes. It's plain black on the lid and has an oversized Jumpman, and then the bottom is black, but it's got like white paint splatter all around it. It's a pretty cool looking box. The tag reads Air Jordan 6 Retro. On Jordan 6s, I always get my true to size, because if not, they're too big on my feet. The colors are listed as white and black. And without further delay, here they are, the black and white, or the reverse Oreo 6s as they're calling them. We did see an Oreo colorway of the Jordan 6. Immediately, this pair really gives me Midnight Navy 6 vibes. I think it's pretty much the same color blocking that we had there, but of course all these accents are in a black color. I really love these little painted areas where we have that paint splatter down on the midsole, as well as up there on the back where we have that spoiler. Aside from having a real classic look and a retro vibe, I like the fact that this is an all-white upper. It's perfect for the summertime. It'll keep your feet a little bit cooler than what they would if they were a dark color. An all-white upper definitely makes me think of a summertime shoe. And when it comes to colorways that are easy to style outfits with, black and white would take literally no thought. I mean, whether you want to stick with gray and that sort of thing for your outfit, or if you want to throw on crazy colors, this will go along with anything just fine. One thing that I really wasn't expecting about this pair is the materials are actually really decent. This leather is really soft, and it's got a nice little bit of texture to it. It's not overly tumbled, but it really feels like a nice material, so I think it'll help these be even more comfortable because they'll be very soft on your feet. Every angle of these things just gives me a nostalgic feeling. This outsole at the time that they came out looked so futuristic, and I still love the look of it. I like all those sharp lines and angles on the bottom, and of course these just have all the little circles for the traction pattern, but it's a mix of icy blue rubber for the outsole, and then we have some black areas. Of course we have that oversized white Jumpman there at the midfoot, but it's just a very classic looking outsole. As we come up to the midsole, we can see that that icy blue rubber wraps up to that area, and we can see it surrounding our visible air unit there in the back. Also have little hits of that icy blue rubber wrapping up to the front of the midsole as well. I really like these painted areas of foam. We've got white foam, but then we've also got this black painted foam, and that has the little paint splatter on it. And really the paint on this pair looks really clean. This white leather on the upper is really nice, but you can see that it's got just a little bit of texture like here on the toe cap area. But then I think that the overlays have a little bit more texture than what that base layer of leather has. And of course we get perforations on the side panels. And then we also see perforations up here where we have those ankle pods as well. We've got a Jumpman and some air branding embroidered onto the back in black thread. And we've got a standard Jordan 6 tongue. It kind of has a neoprene feel to it, but that's in a black color. We have this area that covers the laces here with a white Jumpman on it. And then we've got a black lace lock that has a white Jumpman on that as well. The top of the tongue is pretty standard for a Jordan 6. It's just a black kind of rubber material, and it says Air Jordan there across the top, and it's got those two cutout sections that we're used to seeing on 6s. These came with flat white laces already in the shoes. I wouldn't change them or anything. I think they look just fine in there. And I mentioned it before, but we've got that paint splatter effect going on for our rear spoiler. And I think that was inspired by one of Jordan's cars. I think it was a Porsche. I always like that part of a Jordan 6. It looks like we've got a black sock liner on this pair, and then we've got a black insole with a white Jumpman down there on it. That was a pretty quick look at these Jordan 6s in the black and white colorway. At first, whenever I saw these, I thought that they had like hair on them or cracks on them, but it's really just ripples in this leather. I'm not sure if you can see all those wrinkles on there or not, but it actually is a really nice material. It's very soft, and I like all white shoes because even if they get dirt on them and that sort of thing, you can just use white shoe polish and keep them looking new for a long time. Let me know what you think about this pair. I don't think there's anything wrong with being patient on these. I don't see these selling out immediately, and I really do think if you're patient with these, then you'll be able to get them at a heavily discounted price, and I'm a huge fan of that. It's a great time to be building up your sneaker collection, especially when we have nice colorways of classic silhouettes like this. But let me know what you think about the black and white Jordan 6s. I appreciate y'all watching, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm out. Almost stepped on this thing just now. And I'm wearing slides.